Hello and welcome. My name is Sharon and this is Trio.of.Witches Tarot. I have a few new decks that I'm going to be showing in separate videos. The first one being the Unfolding Path Tarot, and I'll be doing it as a unfair deck comparison to the Lightseers Tarot, which I consider a very close cousin after looking through the Unfolding Path. So let's start with this. So I backed it on Kickstarter. The backs are gorgeous. They come in a very close second to the backs of Botan Tarot. It's very similar, and yeah, it's just gorgeous. So it comes in this box, which not super psyched about. I mean, I don't even really understand why we need such a big box and then this foamy thing, and so I won't be keeping it in that. Not loving it, unfortunately. Comes with no guidebook. It is RWS based, so, you know, you got that. It does come with like this little pamphlet with some keywords for each card, and not all of the cards obviously are depicted here. So there's also that. I mean, I guess that's handy. Would have been nicer if it had just been like kind of like that, which I'm gonna have to fold it up like that so I can store it in a bag with the deck. So let's zoom in a little. So again, there's those backs. It is, I guess it's a rose petal-ish. I mean, it's very satiny. It's probably not rose petal, because it's not that sticky like the rose petal can be. It's got a interesting feel to the sides, almost like rubbery. It's not gilded. It's less thick than Lightseers. It's kind of, you know, it's thicker than some decks, but not super thick. And it's nice and flexy, so you can riffle shuffle it super easily. I'm not going to do that because it's in order for the walkthrough. So leave that there like that. Get out the Lightseers. So this is not the indie version. This is the US Games, I think it is. Who makes this? Hay House. Okay, so Lightseers comes with a really nice book, and you know, I almost feel like this, because these decks are so similar, that this book could be applied to this deck as well, if you really wanted to have a little guidebook other than just, you know, your usual. So it is less thick than Lightseers. They're both kind of thick though. Even my ginormous hands have been a little bit of a hard time. Oh wait, no. So it's about the same. Okay, so Lightseers you've seen before. So first thing that struck me was the use of this, you know, teal aqua color. I edged my Lightseers. Yeah, there's panting in the background. My poor old dog insisted on following me upstairs, and it's a little bit of a struggle for him. So, yeah. These feel very similar. I think there's a lot of, I know there's a lot of sacred geometry in Lightseers. But, aside from that, there's a lot going on in these two cards that's very similar. I mean, I pay attention a lot to the color story. The colors are what strike me first, usually, so we can definitely see that same teal in the Fool. And, you have the purple crystal here, and you have some of that same kind of tone there. And a younger girl in both of them. And we have our magician. We have the purple down here and purple here. This is lacking in the yellow this has, but again, these feel, I mean, hopefully you're seeing already where the instant I started looking at this deck, I thought Lightseers. So, you know, maybe if you don't want to spring for the Unfolding Path and you don't have Lightseers yet, maybe this will inspire you to get it. Maybe not. I love Lightseers. I also love this. She is killing me because, like, the face on her is so familiar to me and I can't even figure out from where or why. And they both decks even have a similar font. I love that this High Priestess is an older woman. I think that is one of the things that sold me on this deck, that there is not so much diversity in gender identification and age and skin color. I think they hit the nail on the head with that in the Unfolding Path. And these two Empress cards. You know, you got the pregnant Empress. Well, I mean, she's pregnant with the world, but again, so similar to me. Come on. And these Emperors. I mean, look at that color story. Hierophant. I love him in Lightseers. I love how happy he is and how you have this staircase going up. I like this guy. Yeah. Those, I mean, the way she's tugging on his hair, she's tugging on his shirt, the colors. Chariot. These are very different. This almost feels like a strength card to me. I love this Chariot. And then strength. And the Hermit. I don't think I ever noticed that the lantern was down here in Lightseers. This is a little more traditional in the Unfolding Path, but I love that it's an older woman. And the wheel. Yeah, that's really cool. See how it has this compass type thing here and down here. So again, and the same shade of aqua there. Justice. The Hanged Man, or just hanged. But again, even though these are decidedly different color stories, they are incredibly similar. Both of them hanging. She's in a tire. She's, I don't know what you call that. You know, it's just some kind of sash thing. I don't know much about that kind of stuff, but, you know, they both have that radiating sun around them. death, both cases, is much less gruesome than in some other decks. Although I have learned to love the death card, as it has been my stalker for a few months now. Temperance. I love how she's kind of levitating those cups. I always felt like this one kind of felt like the Two of Pentacles. And the Devil. I love this Devil in the Unfolding Path. He is cool, but he's not quite creepy enough for me for the Devil. Although I totally get where Chris Ann was coming from on that. The Tower. These are decidedly different. You don't even have people in this one. And the Star. I love both of these really so much. And this is like my favorite shade of lilac or orchid, and it's just so beautiful. And this is so entrancing. And the Moon. Now these two, obviously they're different scenes, but again, the feel and the color story is the same. This is lacking in the Dog and the Wolf. I love how dark she is and mysterious, and her tattoos. And what are her tattoos? I really wish there was a book. Oh, okay. So she has her tattoo is the crayfish. And is there a crayfish anywhere in this one? Not that I am seeing. I never looked for it before. And we have the, a crescent moon here where we have the full moon here. But still, those are very, very similar to me. And the Sun. Both of these are awesome. A couple of my favorite Sun cards. I love this guy. What's his tattoo? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he has the symbol for the sun on his forehead. That's cool. Judgment. I gotta work with this one. I'm not quite sure I understand it fully. Again, I really wish there was a guidebook, an art book that explained the art and their choices, because this deck is so beautiful. And the World. That same teal coming through again. Oh, and we have the 4 symbols in the corners there. Represented differently is geometry there. So now the Wands. Again, decidedly the same color story. Very different though. She's got this flame as almost a third eye. This is pretty traditional here though. And the Two of Wands. And so instead of having their back to us in both of these, they're side facing opposite directions, but again, very orange, so very similar color story they both have. The world there and the world there. I like this little VW van down there. The 3. Yeah, again, that, there's those colors. I love that they're both female. I love her tattoos. So she's holding her wands. I guess this is the 3rd wand there. And then this, you get the 3 there. I guess that is the mast. It's the 3rd wand there. You have a little bit of geometry going on there with those lines, I guess. Hopefully they come out with a guidebook for the unfolding path. I think it deserves it. 4. Look at how happy these guys are. It's almost like Burning Man. 5. She just got the hands holding the wands in this one. But again, the colors, so similar. And the 6. And these 2 differ a lot. They represent the same idea, but she's got her back to us and celebrating her fame, and he's facing us and celebrating a different kind of victory. I love this watercolory thing they're doing in all of them, and that there isn't, a defined symmetrical border around them. The 7. She's so, there's so much energy and action in this one, and she's so still. But again, look at those colors. The 8. Come on. Yeah. I love that he's like surfing on one. I really like this too, how the energy is all, rather than, all going parallel, the energy is all focusing. 9. She's a little more relaxed, a little bit worse for the wear. He. Can't say for sure. It's more ambiguous, androgynous, more energy in this card. Those are very different color stories. The 10. These tell 2 entirely different stories. She is a wanderer, maybe a refugee, carrying that burden of the belongings that she can carry with her. Whereas she almost feels like she's taken on this burden on herself by trying to accumulate, take on too much, dragging it into her home unnecessarily, or this feels more forced upon her. Page. I love how youthful they both are. I love the look on her face. The enthusiasm. Awesome. Night. These felt very similar. Hadn't noticed before, there's definitely a lot of Burning Man-esque feel to the Lightseers. Very red. Queen. These two ladies dressed very differently for very different occasions, but they speak to me in very much the same way. Both have a black cat. That same color sky. She feels like she's leading some kind of group, you know, gathering, meditation, ritual. She feels a little more isolated. And the king. He's so dressed in much more formal wear. I love how he's out in the savannah somewhere. Much more traditional on his throne. A lot of the same colors though, you know, the red and the red, this tan color. Okay. The Ace of Cups, one of my very favorite cards. So I like this card in the Lightseers a lot. I don't love it. Just because I really, really enjoy when it's represented more as a holy grail. Very much into the whole Arthurian theme of that. That is gorgeous. Dove, heart, lotus, the overflowing grail. This is very pretty. Doesn't say the same thing to me though. But it feels like, you know, the opening of your heart, which is awesome. And the two, again, that color story. And the three. I love how these feel like this is the front of them. These are two aspects of the exact same scene. Come on. And the four. Of how grumpy he looks. And how she's ignoring this rainbow shooting out of that cup. He's ignoring the light. And again, the colors. Five. These two could be the exact same scene again to me. The same, just at like different moments in time. And the six. The Lightseers Six of Cups is one of my absolute favorites. It crushes me every time I see it. I love this too though. The mother and her daughter. The color story is very different in these two. Look at all these flowers, these lilies here. Seven. I love the look on her face. She's trying to figure out which cup. He's trying to figure it out too. Like they're both looking in different directions. Eight. Interesting what's happening in this one. It's It's almost like they're like pulling away some curtain or something. I don't think I always wondered about the cups in this Lightseers. Are they okay? They're all underwater there. Interesting. Is that a sunrise or a sunset? And this one's definitely at night with that crescent moon. And the 9. I really like this one. I'm not sure how I feel about that treasure chest. Love this. These flowers are beautiful. God, I hope they come up with a guidebook for this. I would love to know about the flowers, why those flowers were chosen. I mean, it looks like lavender, but I'm not sure what that flower is. Maybe a poppy? You know, these cups are the same as this gold here. 10. We have our rainbow, traditional rainbow in the Lightseers. I love this. Love both of those. Page. And I love how this page is an older man, and look how happy and the youthful look on his face. This has not been one of my favorite Page of Cups. It's interesting, but not my favorite. But, you know, we have these same tones of blue. I love the fish up there. The Knight. So we don't have in the Unfolding Path the name of the suit on the card, but it's very clear what suit you're dealing with. And these guys, again, these guys could be the same guy. Different day, different pose, same guy. You know, I would be hard pressed in the Lightseers. I guess there's a cup down here, but you know, if I had to, if it didn't say cups on it, I would maybe be wondering. I mean, it has flowers and stuff, but still, it wouldn't be entirely immediately obvious to me. Queen, these two, like right down to the color of their dresses. The King. I do love this king. I love this guy too. And again, you know, they're dressed differently, different, you know, color hair. They could be the same guy though. Same guy, different day. Sailboat back there. You know, they both have the sailboat. Fishes. Okay, so now we're on to the swords. Fairly traditional again. Really cool. Love how she's holding her hand out and it's balancing on it like that. This one is really cool too though, but I don't know that I've ever really understood that card with the spiral staircase. I mean, I get a lot of the sacred geometry in it, but hasn't really ever resonated with me. I need to work with this more and think about that more. I think the color story here in these really deviates a lot, but there's still so much similarity. We don't have any swords here in the Lightseers. This one is much more traditional. Both of them, it's a younger female. Three of Swords. These two feel super similar to me. I mean, the art and everything about them is different, but there's something, the colors, the distraught look on their faces. They both have, you know, the stabbed heart, but the broken heart here, but yeah. Same girl, different day. 4. Always loved that she was lying in a nest like that, and the swords are feathers. I like her too. This reminds me of, Wheel of Time, is that what it's called? That show it's been on recently? She reminds me of one of the characters in it and how she's resting, but she's got that sword and she could wake, it's almost like she's in a cat nap and she could wake up at any moment and defend herself. A 5. She feels very battle weary. Hers is more of a physical battle, it almost feels like it. His was definitely a mental battle. Just leave me alone. I'm so tired of all of it. That's what he says to me. She's just like, oh, God, please go away. The 6, these feel super similar. Same girl, different day. And the colors, this one doesn't have as much of the same color story, but it is the same color story still. She's getting ready. It's like here she's getting ready to get in the boat, and here she's already in it. And the 7 of Swords. Here he's stealing him, and here he's already got him, and he's running away with them. 8. Yeah. And the 9. And these decks complement each other so well, and I love the differences in them, the way they're facing differently, they feel like they're different moments in time of the same person even. Like here she's fallen down, been defeated, and here is where she's gotten up and is moving on from that. And the Page, they both have a book. And the Knight. Queen. Yeah. Same queen, different day. And the King. So here we have a much more traditional Ace of Pentacles in the Lightseers. 2 hands, 2 hands. These two feel super similar. The closest of all of the aces, I think. Very traditional. Both of them feeling a little more traditional because they're definitely pentacles, where she's got like a canteen and a ball of light, maybe. Color story is very similar though. 3. These tell a little bit of a different story to me. He's working with the bees. She's harvesting the product of the bees' work. Here they feel much more like they're working together on something. For I love that spiky, needly nature. It's kind of interesting to me that he's the prickly guy. It's like, not only is he hoarding, but he is very prickly in protecting it, and you're not coming anywhere near that. 5. You see, these are pretty different than that traditional where, you know, you have some kind of light that is hope. I guess, you know, there's hope here. She's got the key to the door. She just isn't seeing she can use it. He could probably walk up that staircase and get away, get out of his situation. 6. I really like both of those. The 2 hands like that. 7. It's a little more active in this one, where he's just kind of waiting. Both have that seedling growing though. 8. Much more active again. She's just waiting, still relaxing. Enjoying those fruits of her labor a little differently than here. She's still working pretty hard. And 9. We've got a white peacock there. An owl? A hawk? What is that? Some kind of a falcon, maybe? Don't know for sure what kind of bird that is. The color stories still feel super similar. You know, you got a lot of the green there. You know, the orange, yellow, and red. 10. Big happy families. Page. These 2 pages feel very similar. Night. It's an interesting night. Queen. Look at that. Same queen, different day. Love how her eyes are closed. She's got these branches almost growing out of her head. You know, here she is indoors. Here she is outdoors. And the king. Yeah. Same color story. I like how he has this wolf. So, there you have it. My unfair deck comparison of The Unfolding Path and Lightseers. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on either one of these decks or both of them, if you prefer one or the other, if you feel like you want them both, if you've worked with either of these, your thoughts on that. So please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you feel compelled. Thanks and have a nice day. It is July of 2022 and it is time for another deck giveaway. This time it is the Osho Zen Tarot. So this is a deck that I bought and really tried to connect with, so I didn't, I ran out of my Amazon return window. So it's not worth trying to sell because it's, you know, it's mass market, it's not expensive. By the time, you know, I sell it for $5 and then the $10 shipping, it's just like, just what, why? So I'm gonna give it away. Lisa Pepez is the one who convinced me to get this because she loves it. It was her first deck. In theory, okay, it's black and white. In theory, I would like it because the artwork is pretty. The colors are pretty, but it's just not my jam. So there are plenty of I'll go really fast, but there are plenty of walkthroughs of this deck. If you want to go and see, is this a deck I would like to try to win for free? You can do that somewhere else. Probably Lisa Pepez at Supportive Tarot. I'm sure she has gushing walkthroughs because I'm sure I watched them, and that's how I got convinced to get this deck. But like I said, it's just not my jam. So I'm not even going to show all the cards. That's pretty. See, that's pretty. That's pretty. But it just, you know, it doesn't ring my bell. So if you'd like to win it, you can comment below in this video with the word Zen and whatever else you want to say. And any video that I post in the month of July of 2022 that I have this at the end of, or where I mention the drawing somewhere and what keyword you should be entering in the comments, then you can enter as many times as you want. And each entry will get you another little piece of paper in my bowl, so it'll increase your chances. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and good luck.